The SBA has just released new guidance on when the PPP applications will go live. What are the best banks and lenders for the PPP program? What are things you should consider if you want to apply for a PPP round 2? Stimulus checks are still delayed. I'm going to talk about why that is and the major mistake the IRS made. And what's the latest with the EIDL grants in terms of when a new form will go live. Hey everyone, this is Ryder from Skip. It's Friday, January 8th. I hope you're doing well, staying healthy. Very quick video update today with lots of information. You know, when I look back at the videos over the summer we were kind of grasping at straws because there wasn't much information. Well, guess what? Now there's tons of information. I'm going to do my best in these daily videos to simplify it and cover the most important things. Before I give you those 4 important updates, thanks so much for subscribing and supporting our channel. Be sure to watch until the end because whether you are applying for an EIDL grant or a PPP loan round 2, or you're waiting for your stimulus, this is relevant for you. First off, a quick update on the free Skip trackers. Thanks so much. Almost 150,000 of you are using our free trackers. So if you know someone who cares about what's happening, feel free to share this video or our app. Links right in the description. And based on your feedback, we are continuing to add features. So feel free to always leave comments and tell us what would be helpful for you. For example, we are thinking about how to help people with rental assistance as well. So stay tuned for that. But here's the latest vaccine tracker. 6 million people have gotten a vaccine, more or less. Still far less than the expectations. On stimulus news, almost 6% of you have received a stimulus check. That's very low, much lower than expected. I'll talk about why. In EIDL grant news, no action is needed. You can check to see if your address qualifies. We are still waiting for SBA guidance. But on PPP news, we have guidance. The go live date is next week. Here's the latest. On our app, you can see how much you might be eligible for, and you can get more information. You can check out here. We also have partner lenders that will give you priority. So feel free to get the tracker on the Skip app, and when things go live, you will be ready to go. Finally, we just added this today. Even though we are a free app, we grow by word of mouth. You can click share and earn up to 1,000 credit. You can give 10, get 10. Basically invite anyone you want. They'll get $10 in Skip credit for future Skip services. We help with passports, visas, TSA pre-check, DMV related stuff, you name it. You can earn up to $1,000 per month in Skip credit. For example, your friends will get a message that looks like this by text or email. Just wanted to mention that. If you don't see it on the app now, it'll be on the app very soon. Biden has picked Isabel Guzman as SBA administrator. That is positive news. You know, many of us have been critical of Javita Carranza, the current SBA administrator under Trump, because of the botched rollout when it came to the PPP. Obviously, it was a tall order, but many have criticized her. Isabel Guzman is Biden's pick. She'll have to be confirmed by Congress. But basically, here's why it matters. The pick is a win for Latino lawmakers and activists who've lobbied for more representation in Biden administration. Guzman was a top official in the Obama SBA and has since been named director of California's Office of the Small Business Advocate. So she will be in charge of the PPP. That's good news. Even though it's going live before she will be in charge, she will take over a lot of things, such as the ongoing forgiveness. If there are changes in terms of how to get forgiven, whether the rules will become more lax for businesses, if you'll be able to change the time period where you're eligible, etc., etc. She'll take over that. I think overall it's positive news. She has a good track record. Again, I mentioned in yesterday's video who've been scared of the PPP. There's a few reasons to strongly consider it this time around. I mentioned those yesterday. Most lenders have streamlined forms, but also the SBA has made it easier, and Isabel Guzman will probably improve things as well. Here's the news from the SBA. SBA and Treasury announced PPP reopening. Okay, first draw PPP loans are on Monday, January 11th. And I just want to say off the bat, there is not the time pressure for PPP loans like there was for EIDL grants. Basically, anyone who qualified for a PPP loan in the first go-around could get one. There was extra money in the PPP pot, so there wasn't really a rush to get your application in early. So I think this is an opportunity for you to be more thoughtful, to take your time, to consider which lender you want to go through. We have our recommendations. But here it is, first draw PPP loans on Monday for community banks. This is if you didn't receive a first PPP loan, and that's only for community financial institutions. Second draw PPP loans will start on Wednesday, and the PPP will open to all participating lenders shortly thereafter. There's a few key updates. We are covering this on the Skip app, by the way. For example, on the Skip app, we put up this post where you can scan an overview of the new rules and what you need to know. And we will be updating this, but we go over how does the loan process work, how you should understand if you qualify, how you should think about which lenders to apply to, and then also how this impacts EIDL grants. I'll link to the video I did yesterday where I talk about how you can combine and think about both an EIDL grant and PPP funding, and how you should understand the forgiveness process. So we cover this on the blog, and of course we will be updating this as much as possible. So that's the good news. We have a date. Any day now, we are expecting updates on the EIDL go live date. We are keeping an eye on that. We check at 9 p.m. here, midnight. You know, we wouldn't be surprised if they do a late night release like they did in the first go around. So we are watching. You can be sure if you are tracking EIDL grant progress on our app that you will be one of the first to be alerted if there is action. Again, we do not know precisely how it will go down. Will the SBA review past applications, or will they make you submit a new one? I ventured to guess that they will have some new form for a few different reasons, but namely to cut down on the massive fraud that happened in the first go-around. We all know there was lots of fraud that they've detected so far, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So I imagine they will try to address that on the front end by improving the form a little bit. So stay tuned. We're watching this page. We are watching other documents on the Treasury website too. Sometimes the Treasury decides to update these things first. Finally, many of you may have gotten these emails from your tax providers. Here is the overview. The IRS sent some of the stimulus payments, many, to inactive or closed bank accounts. This IRS error caused some people to not receive their stimulus payment as planned. So once they realized that, the IRS instructed financial institutions to return the funds to them, which is required by law, and stated that they would reprocess those funds to the recipients. But then the IRS changed their minds again. Change course again is the nice way of putting it. And stated that they would not reprocess the funds, and individuals impacted by this error would need to claim the stimulus on their tax return to save their money. What a lot of these tax companies have done is they've demanded the IRS immediately send customer stimulus funds to their banking partner so they can get the payments distributed. So anyway, this is a lot of back and forth. You know, from what we can see, almost 6% of you have reported receiving it, but more often than not, we are hearing that most people are still waiting. Again, that's a tough situation. But the good news is, of course, that we can expect some more stimulus money, likely at least $1,400 to top up to the $2,000 amount. So stay tuned for that. As more happens there, we will let you know. Obviously, we are staying focused on the stimulus news and trying to avoid all the political news that's happening now. As always, I so appreciate your support and subscribing to our channel. If you found this helpful, consider sharing with a friend. As always, if you try out the Skip app and you have comments, you can always leave a comment, and I'll do my best to answer. Stay well, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow.